first corner. Driver number 1 looking to the inside of 2. Second place, sets himself up for a pass going into this carousel. Is he going to be able to get his nose in there? No.
Some heroes walk on 4 legs. I'm Jason Johnson, founder of Project K9 Hero. Not every retired police K9 or military working dog has a home to go to in retirement. We strive to ensure no hero is left behind. We cover the medical needs of our program members after their faithful service. Our organization also provides a lifetime sanctuary for many of these heroes who may suffer from PTSD. And whenever possible, we find them a forever home. Visit ProjectK9Hero.org to learn how you can help protect those who protected us.
Welcome to Nashville Superspeedway. Today it's the Four Corners Racing League here, sponsored by Under Pressure Power Washing Services. This league hasn't ran a race in, I believe, 2 weeks. Actually, yes, 2 weeks from today. Reason for that is because they took an off week 2 weeks ago, and they took a real life off week last week. So they're finally back today. Hopefully it will be really good for you guys. They're currently in their qualifying right now. I'm going to pull up some race info though. It's 150 laps, 5 sets of tires. Lane, so kind of heavy on the tire wear. I don't think this track is going to be too aggressive on it, but you really do not want to cook the tires off. That's one thing that's going to be a really big challenge for some of these drivers. I do know that down in turns 3 and 4, about the middle of it, there's a bump in the track, and it is very difficult to deal with. It is not fun. I've had to deal with it before, and it really sets that car sideways, really wants it to kick out, so it's really hard to deal with that when you get to that part of the track here. But they have about a minute left in their qualifying. Brandon Kohler currently sits on top right now, but they're about done qualifying here. Again, I'm just all our these gnats here. Subscriber count has gone up a lot. Thank you all to that. We are at 750, I believe, at the time of this recording starting. I think, let me make sure that is correct. Oh gosh. Let's see what we are at now. Yeah, we are at 749. Also, I'm really interested in this Titanic story. Submarine that has gone missing that they haven't been able to find at all. Got about a day left of oxygen, possibly. But drivers are just finishing their qualifying, so we'll pull that up. We will go all the way up to the top of that too. So Brandon Kohler, he's on the front row. He gets the pole here. Chris Worrell second, David Childhouse third, Kyle Smalley fourth, Zach Lindgren fifth, John Creighton sixth, seventh, Jeremy Brown eighth, Alexander Kronicki ninth, J.R. Houston 10th, Jordan Weaver 11th, Marcus Adams 12th, Brad Peters 13th, James McKee 14th, Michael Anthony 15th, Caden Henry Oaks 16th, Jared Wishin 17th, Brian Jones 18th, Calvin Allison 19th, Walker Thomas 20th, Keith Smalley 21st, Casey Heschel 22nd, Nathan Yarnell, and 23rd is Roberto Ramirez. So that's all the guys in the race here today. Got to wait for somebody to grid here so we don't have to deal with these rotating cameras that are kind of driving me insane at the same time. I don't really like that at all, but let's see. I believe I have the cars. No, they're not. They are not running. For some reason, I thought they were. They're just that quiet on this camera. Wow. I will give them all a paint refresh too when they get in here. I'm waiting for McKee, Weaver, Heschel, Yarnell, Worrell. We got four more people left, and they will all get in here. That is a nice paint scheme on that 9 car. It's a very nice looking one. Also, I've turned my iRacing sound down, but I've also boosted it. So I boosted it in the OBS settings, so it should be evened out. Pitch keyboard, I said should be evened out. I believe it is. Just because it was blowing my eardrums out from how loud it was for me. It was ridiculous. It was not very fun to deal with, that's for sure. As that is everybody. Yep, so everybody's here. So paint refresh will be given now to everyone. As there we go. Pace car finally pulls off there. Eventually does it after some time. 150 laps. Not sure what the fuel is going to be like. Fuel, if I had to guess, maybe 60-ish laps, possibly. If I had to guess. Again, it looks like also cloudy on the track in 3 and 4, so that's going to make it more grippy. See if I can see 1 and 2 there. It looks like the whole track is pretty much kind of shadowed here. But pace car will pull off here. Brendan Kohler, Chris Worrell will lead them to green. Pace car pulls in here. Starter has the flag in his hand. As green flag is in the air, we are underway here. These guys make it off of 3 and 4 there. Away from each other. We got Kohler's being chased by Worrell right now. He's trying to fend him off. Kind of has to deal with him being right behind him, tucked up under him. Somebody trying the high line. That's the 57 of Chronicky. Blue Moon Ford Mustang. I believe we are missing some guys, however, from this race here, though. Some of them may have honestly forgotten that there is a race that goes on. Stroud House. He always kind of starts running up front here as the race goes on. You see Lindgren trying to get under Creighton. He will get under him for, it's like 5th there if they're going to fight it a little bit. See, the 66 wants to hang tough. Now he realizes he's like, I'm kind of done with that. No point in doing it right now. On board with Lindgren right at the moment. See what these guys see going around the track. Kohler's been setting some fast laps, but that being said, it's only 4 laps into the race. Around lap 15 to 20, we're going to see who saved their tires and who has burned them off. Because if you burn them off at a certain point, you're going to really figure that out, because you will not be having grip at all. And I mean at all. Shothouse. He does move up to 2nd. Not surprised that Shothouse is here. I mean, he runs up front pretty much almost every single race that we go to, it seems, for him. But it is not surprising to me one bit at all. Back, we got some people going at it. I believe that's Peters. No, that is the 31 of Marcus Adams trying to go under Peters here. I don't think Peters can really fight him too hard now. He really can't. Looks like that high line's really not a place you want to be at all. Or either they're just deciding they're like, you know, it's not really worth racing each other too hard early on. So just give them the position, not wreck each other, and, you know, continue on with our races, so we can still both be in the race and not taken out. A little bit of a wiggle there. See how they kind of jerk that car off the wall. You can really see who's getting loose, who's getting tight. See if I can see if somebody has to jerk their car off of the wall. What I mean by that is when you see them come off the corner, they're not going up to the wall flush. They're kind of coming back down after they get to it. That's because they have that wheel cranked and they're trying to get it to turn, or they're loose. So that rear end stepping out and just not want to give them the grip that they want. I haven't seen it too. Well, a little bit right here. So let's watch Oaks. Oaks did it coming out of 3 and 4 that last lap. He might do it this lap too. See, he is loose. He's already wiggling, getting down in there. So yeah, see, you're kind of like right there, how he kind of came off the wall a little bit extra. I have to go cockpit to show you all what I mean. I want you to kind of watch right here a little bit. See how right there, you might have heard that kind of that jump in RPMs. That car stepped out there at the last second. So it was really loose on him. He stayed in the throttle, so that's the valiant effort from him. It's just going to really beat that tire down, wear it down. Up front, while I've been looking at what the guys have been doing back here, we've got a big battle here. Lindgren, Smalley, and Worrell all in a big pack here. It looks like Smalley will go ahead. And I wish we had a micro center where I live. I wish there's one close. The closest one is 200 miles away up in Northern Virginia. Micro center, if I lived near a micro center, oh my gosh, I'd be going there every single day. I'd be working there. I'm only saying that because Smalley has that on the back of his car. Come back here, you see the 12, the Walker Thomas. Yeah, Oaks is dropping a lot of positions now. I think downshifting's hurt Oaks if he's still doing it. I think he is. What's killing him? Yeah, right there. Now he just let him by that time. See if he goes. He's shifting. Downshifts here. Yeah, you can see him try to give it gas in the middle too. Is Kohler shifting? Is a better question. He is, but he's doing it really early. He is moving. I can just see how fast he is just from that right there. Watch how smooth his downshift is. Like, that is a very smooth downshift, and he's keeping a very steady wheel on the bottom. The Schildhouse is starting to chase him down. Right there, it kind of stepped up too on Schildhouse. It's really hard to see. You've had to drive these cars to know when it steps out, but it did it there just a tad. Kohler looks like he's pretty content right now. Smalley's under attack there from Lindgren, trying to hold him off. Lindgren's been kind of staying on his bumper the whole entire time. I've been noticing that he's been right there. If there's anything else that he can really do. Right now, we're starting to see, so the biggest mover is actually the 28 of Calvin Allison. He is up 5 positions from where he started, currently sitting in 13th. So he's moved up through the pack a little bit. Not too much, though, but he's definitely moved up towards the front. Smalley does have to give up that position to Lynn. Thought about it. Okay, he does give up that position. Will duck right down in front of Worrell. Actually might get Lindgren back here. He's thinking about it, I believe. Get right on the bumper of him. He's deciding to shove him. Decides not to take the run that he had. surprised he didn't try to go down to the bottom. Deciding, maybe he's saving his stuff early on. He wishing's in his own little world right now. He's probably just saying in the back, he's like, you know what? I don't care what happens as long as you don't take me out. I'm fine with that. Kind of how I am too. Wish we had a gopher cam. We don't have one of those here. I will be showing y'all that view. That was a nice paint scheme that Tony's running. I mean, I know it's 4, but I like the colors, how it's on there. Lap time, Shildhouse is catching him. Shildhouse was actually, he was 800 slower that lap. Lap before he was faster. Kohler's not. He's actually losing time to Shildhouse. Shildhouse is gaining on him. He's trying to catch him, and he very well might catch him soon too. He just disappeared. That's why we saw him blink off the screen and come back. I was a little bit confused. I was like, wait, where did he go? Where did he go? I'm having to guess it's got to be like 40 to 50 pit stops. I don't think you can one-stop this race. I don't think it's possible. But I mean, we saw that, the last time these guys raced, somebody tried it and they actually did make it work somehow. I have no idea how they did, but they did. It's kind of like, how in the world could you do that scenario? The 45. Looking to the inside there of Allison. So Allison, he's on the inside of, that's Peters. Yeah, that's Brad Peters here. So Jeremy Brown, he's been on a backslide though. He's lost 11 positions since the start of the race. He qualified, I want to get this wrong. But yeah, he qualified 7th. He's lost a lot. I just ran a good qualifying lap. He's not really able to run much faster since then, but leads staying the same so far. Looks like it gets between 7/10 to a little bit below 7/10 behind. Shildhouse, I think he's worse in 3 and 4, but he's better in 1 and 2. Bro, I think he's gaining most of his time. One thing too, these guys could do this if they've been. No, you can ride around in 5th gear and that won't hurt your rear tires, but you're not going to get up off the corner as well as other people will. You'll get off really slow. I have found that mistake at one track. I wondered why I was so dang slow. I was riding in 5th gear when I was supposed to be downshifting. That was at Darlington. I didn't know that. I didn't realize it until somebody who was in the race that was on my team told me, and I was like, oh, it's good to know, 20 laps left in the race. Let's talk about that paint scheme. It's gotten to the point now with Larson's paint schemes that when they put out the new paint schemes each week, I'm like, dang, I wonder what paint schemes Larson's going to be running, because he runs this same paint scheme every single week, it seems. I just wish there was some different paint schemes that he had. I mean, he doesn't have any sponsors anymore, really, which sucks. And we all know the situation that happened with him. But how do you not sponsor a guy that is this dang good? Does he have any NASCAR sponsors? Ramen Bar is a sponsor. I'm looking these up right now. I know HendrickCars.com. Yeah, which is no Rick Hendrick's company. Well, apparently that's actually raised the sales for Hendrick Motorsports having that sponsor on that car. I don't know. I just wish you had different sponsors, to be honest with you. They're all the same. Yeah, I mean, one guy that's barely moved is Ramirez. I mean, he's literally went up one position. Wishen's just here right now. He's not doing bad. I mean, you're 30 laps into a 150 lap race. You got time to go gain some positions on somebody, especially once that car actually settles in. It will probably get a little bit better. He might just be a long-run driver, too. That's kind of how I am every now and then. I'm a long-run driver. I can't do these short runs where these guys are just hauling it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that for me at all, sadly. Not great enough. I was going to come up in front of the 8. Anthony thought he was for half a second, then I was like, wait, don't you do this, don't you do it, and he decided, nah, I'm not going to do it there. This gap has pretty much stayed the same. Oh, I got a ghost in my room. Nobody's really moved up the sides or out of these top, I'll say 5 are kind of close to each other. Well, 5th through 3rd are close to each other. 2nd and 1st are close to each other, but you can see the gap right here. I'll go to a blimp view. We'll see this whole view from the top. You can't see it here. Where is he at? So, actually pull up the track map here. So, you can see there's 1st and 2nd, and then there's 3rd. That's a huge gap to them over there. They're pretty much nowhere near each other at all. We've also saw the pace slow down. Only slowed down about half a second so far, and it's not really wearing too bad. These front 2 are still running the faster times. Let's see if the Child House is now shifting. He might not be anymore. He still is. Is Kohler shifting? Yes, he is. Everybody's shifting. Molly is not shifting, I believe. Let's see if he is or not. He is not. So what that's doing too, learn this a little bit back, that's hurting his entry, maybe using up that right front tire a little bit more. He doesn't have that turn, he doesn't have the engine braking is really what does that. So what that is pretty much you downshift and where it jumps up in RPMs, it's gonna want to go back down because it's way high in RPMs. So it slows itself down. That saves the right front, but also kind of hurts the rears. So he's probably saving those rear tires that if he needed to shift now, he could probably start doing it, help him get off the corner a little bit better too. This new update kind of mess with a lot of drivers or mess with a lot of builders because they had to change their sets to where you actually had to shift. There was no more driving around and not shifting anymore, because if you did that, your car was it was trash. I had to deal with that before. I was not, which I don't use the auto clutch in these cars. I actually have a clutch on my pedals because I drive a manual in real life, so I'm so used to doing that. But what's not easy, downshifting in these cars as you think, because the shifter I have doesn't always realize that it goes in reverse, because I have a Logitech shifter. It's not even a sequential, but I have it set as a sequential, so it doesn't always detect that I pulled it back. Getting a different shifter soon though, because I hate that shifter so much. I hate the wheel too. I need to get a whole new setup. Actually am going to be getting one soon, however. But look at the time as I've been rambling on and talking about random stuff. Look at Child House now. Barely closer. Actually, about 2/10 closer now. So, Draft so far, let me see his rear wing, or his rear quarter panel. So that spoiler's small, not going to be that big of a difference aero-wise. But again, if you can cut off any air in front of you, that will always help you, no matter where you are. But however, he does lose some time. Oh, no, he's coming now. Kohler's going to have to start running here. I think this is towards the end of the run, though. Yeah, we'll probably see. If they're gonna go halfway, we're gonna see them at lap 75. If they're not gonna go halfway, lap 50 is when I'll say we'll see somebody down pit road. That's whenever they decide to come down pit road, though. It's gonna vary. It's gonna vary heavily. Really had any big battles up front. I mean, this is a big group here, though. This is this group. Oh, that is Allison up there. No, that is Creighton. So it's Creighton. Really, not those two. So it's from the 9 to not Walker, 45 of Anthony. Sorry, the 8 of Anthony. We can include him. That are really kind of close to each other, and these guys are pretty much running nose to tail at this moment. They're all maybe deciding, let's not trade punches yet. That's something for later in life. Or later in the race, that is. You should take him out. Wipe him out. Get it done and over with. Gonna try that high line. That high line here, it doesn't work very well. Sorry, y'all. Doesn't work too well. It's just not very. You don't really have grip, and you're already up so high. You're really putting a lot of wheel into it. It just gets super tight, and it just doesn't want to turn the same as it did before. Is one thing that I noticed. Is it's just no turn. No turn is left in there. I think 9 is dropping multiple. He might drop 3 positions here in about the span of a lap. Childhouse had a big bobble somewhere because he's now a second behind Kohler. So he must have messed up pretty big while I was looking back here and just didn't see them. Or just didn't see it. It would have given me a notification too, but evidently it didn't. So he just had something happen. Might have smacked it somewhere. See it. Where pit stop's gonna happen? Yep, there. Okay, as soon as I say that, McKee goes down pit road, slides through his box, has to reverse. So I said about lap 50. That's what I thought right here. So lap 50 or 40, 44. We'll probably have one more pit stop left. I don't know why it's wanting to say these guys are on track. Who else will come down pit road now that McKee is the first guy that has kind of started the cycle? It's gonna trigger some other people to come down pit road, I believe, because they don't want to be staying out too long on these old tires yet. Don't want to do a commercial break right now because I have a feeling we'll start seeing them come down pit road more here. It'll take some time. Or Weaver or McKee might have been pitting because he was just so far off. He realized he's like, man, I don't have anything right now. I got to come down pit road at the moment, man. Which is a very big possibility too. I've had cars like that where I'm like, can this thing turn? Like, for the love of life itself. Shothouse is caught. Kohler might be pulling away and then slowing down, because you see now he's shaved off half a second, and that was only what, in like 7 laps too. And Shothouse had to smack the wall somewhere. There's no way he gets that far behind just out of nowhere. I don't think it's gonna just happen because he wants it to happen. Kohler actually might be caught by Shothouse here too. He's coming. This is, you can tighten this down here. He comes down here, right? Where is McKee at? Comparison, McKee, where he slid through his box, he's far back. His pit stop was also 16 seconds too. He had to reverse, literally just half a second to get back in there. This is a group that's pretty much just stayed together. I mean, these guys really just won't leave each other alone. They just want to talk all the time. I haven't noticed JR, though. He's actually gone up to where he started now. He's back up to 9th. Biggest mover, though, is Calvin. He's up 11 positions, so he's slowly and methodically picked his way through the whole entire field. Sometimes you're like, oh, yeah, I'm so glad I got through this, and half the time you're either annoyed because you don't want to have to deal with it. He's been quiet. I think now we're starting to go backwards, though. It's starting to kind of show that he's gotten a little bit beat up. As to figure out what size this is. I do not know what this is. They're got a big group here now. Nobody else is. Oh no, we did have somebody else come down pit road. Brad has came down pit road. However, I think he's actually left the race because he's not. Yeah, he has. He left the race. Now this is what happened again. So now Kohler's pulled away from Shothouse again. By about 3/10 more. Let's see if he keeps that gap or if he slows back down. If he slows back down, then he's just kind of keeping his tires saved. We have saw Worrell, though. I've been noticing his times. He's been going a lot faster than everybody else right now. He's picked it up as this went on. I believe the gap was about 3 seconds before, and now he's not too far back from him at all. So, yeah, if they go to lap 75, I know if they go to lap 75. Lap 75 is, like, the lap that if you're going to split it halfway, this is going to be halfway. Completely. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Oh, there goes 57 off the wall. Chronic, you got a little bit loose. And I want to kind of see if I can show you all. Let me see if I can get on Kohler's view. See if I can get him in the bump here. All right. Where I'm not driving, I can't really feel it. Let's see if I can see it here. He might be out of that bump where he's not actually like really in it. What he's possibly doing, staying out of that area. If he is, that's a pretty smart thing to do too. Right. Yeah, he's not in the... Where he's so low on that track, I can't see the bump that's normally there. But trust me, there is one there. It's just he's not low enough to actually be hitting it, or high enough to be hitting it. You kind of have to ride a little bit above that line, I'd say. And I mean just barely above. There's a bump there. I don't know why there's a bump there, but there is. And it's... It has shot me sideways. Completely sideways. And I have not been too happy about having to deal with that. Makes the car really loose. You can't really keep it up under you. No pits, no other pit stops either, so I'm going to have to see. I just don't know who's going to come down pit road now. I mean, it's just so... You're at a point in the race, I think it's like a pit, maybe pit not. So we got about 12-ish more laps they have to go. And then... If they go to lap 75, then I know it's halfway. I know for sure that is halfway in the race. I'm about to kill these things there. These dang bugs are getting annoying here. I know what they're after now. I'm going to smack that away. But Okay, now it's happened again. Crowdhouse has now caught Kohler, and he's very close. If Kohler now turns it up again. It has to be when Crowdhouse gets behind him, he slips up somewhere, because he keeps doing this over and over and over. So somewhere in this run he has to be messing up. And it looks like it's 3 and 4, where he's just not getting off the corner as well. He's just kind of slow up off the bottom. He can't really put the power down, and I had to guess it's probably because it's about to kick out on him. You see it now. Look at that again. It goes from 2 tenths to now 4 tenths, almost 5 tenths of a lead over him. CJR is going to continue his kind of his march up here. Allison's also going to continue his march. He's about to be caught. Now, this 9 is on fresh tires, though. So we won't worry about McKee. McKee's kind of not in this scenario at the moment where he's on freshies. We don't got to worry about him at the time. You see it now too. That gap just it shrinks and it grows, shrinks and grows, shrinks and grows. Okay, so 75 is what I'm looking at. If we see somebody come down at 75, they're going to one stop this race. It's going to be one stop to the end. This league really doesn't have that many cautions either. That's what I've noticed with them. And I mean, these guys are really high IRs though, so it's not like this is just a random league. I mean, the highest we got is a 6.5, and that's Kohler. I'm a 4.3 IR, and I'd be 4.3K IR. I'd probably be about mid to upper. I'd be middle to upper, mid upper is what I'll say if I race against these guys, and I'd probably honestly get destroyed. Haven't raced in multiple weeks, and I just got back and I finished like God, I can't remember what I finished. Like 17th in the last race I ran. Not very well. So I don't have a lot of hope in myself at all. I mean, at all. Okay, yep, here it is. So pit stops now. So World's gonna be the first one that comes down pit road. This will probably be his only pit stop in this race. He won't come down anymore. So then maybe they can go about 80-ish laps. Once he realizes, okay, now we're past the halfway point. No, I'm going to come down, or no, not past halfway point. No, we almost past halfway point. I'm going to come down pit road and pit and go ahead and get this out of the way. Left the thumbs up. Good luck. Oh, no, AKR Sims. David is clutching in the corners. I did not see that. I need to get a 4th monitor. Yes, I said 4th. But okay, yep. Pit stops. These guys came to a form, and I didn't see that before. Hayden, you were up in the air, my man. As they're waiting on fuel for... No, Hayden's just actually changing 4 tires. Okay, so there... Yep, here it is. Had a feeling it was going to be around this point. Kohler's down. Lindgren's down. Crowdhouse is probably going to go out there and run a blazing lap. He's going to go get all that he has left in this car for this one lap that he's on the track. I mean, he's going to get those tires taken off anyway. You know, just go ahead and cook them off. You're at that point in the race, you're like, okay, this is going to come off. He knows that Kohler's pitted. Creighton's pitted also. Lindgren, Smalley's come down. See, David is clutching in the corners. So, okay, now that you do mention that. So that might have been why he wasn't catching him or passing him at certain parts. He's maybe trying to stretch his fuel just a tad longer. I mean, just a tad, not a lot. If you stretch it too much, then you're gonna run out. I've done that a couple of times too. Not the brightest moment that I ever had. Actually, I've never ran out. I've never fully ran out. Actually, I have. No, I haven't. I haven't fully ran out of fuel on a track. Unless it was a super speedway. I was hoping for a caution, and I never got it. You see Smalley's down. I think I saw another group coming down. Weaver's down. Heschel's down. Broadhouse still continuing to run, but most of the guys have pitted so far. So what do we see here? Jones, Kroenke, Anthony's down too. Now comes... Oh, no! Oh, no, Childhouse. Oh, no. The one thing he didn't need. Old tires in these cars, too, stopping with them is incredibly difficult. He's actually out of fuel. He is out of fuel. He has no more fuel left in this car. He ran it dry. He's very lucky that this is going to hurt him heavily, though. I mean, heavily, heavily. That car is completely dry of fuel. So, spun getting on pit road, ran out of fuel, had to coast down almost the whole pit lane. He's going to be hurting. He's going to be hurting a lot. I do want to see what happened to him getting on pit road, because I just saw it go gray. When it goes gray, that tells me that they're in the pit lane. If I had to guess, did he hit the apron, or did it just... Fourth, third, when does he hit the apron here? Third. Oh, he just overcorrects there a little bit too much. Don't know what happened. He may have... Where is it at? Pulls off. It had to be there. See, right there. Because he had just came off the Wait, did he get unsafe pit entry? No, he did not. Okay. He had just come off the surface fully. That could have messed with him getting back on the track or getting onto pit road. He had just gone off the elevation change there. Is this not giving me the... No, I don't want the fixed style. I want the... Trying to get y'all something here. Giving these numbers customized. But that's going to hurt Childhouse. Okay, so he was behind Kohler, correct? He's now behind so many more people. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cars in front of him to get back to Kohler. And the way it's looking, I don't think you're going to catch him easily or honestly at all. That has to hurt. I mean, that has to really freaking hurt. That just sucks. I mean, it really does suck having that happen to somebody like that. He's down pit road. So he is actually, hold on. He was down lap 4. What? Okay, I'm trying to make sense of this. So he was down lap 40. So he's coming down pit road. Down lap 50 pretty much. Where's he up to? He was back in the lead lap finally. I don't know why he would have came down pit road is the thing. That's why I'm a little bit confused. It doesn't make really any sense to me why he did that, but maybe it's a choice from him. I don't know why though. That's just odd. I just find that as odd. Let's see if his strategy works out. But that's going to put Worrell to the lead, but Kohler's breathing down his neck pretty much. I mean, literally breathing down his neck for this position. And he'll probably get it too. I just don't think you can. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't really fend that off. He's right behind you. He's got, I think, 5 lap fresher tires also. So it's kind of like a, well, there's nothing I can really do here. But I know Shothouse is going to be pretty mad with himself, and I wouldn't blame him. Now we're going to see the guys that pitted a little bit earlier in that run start to fall off just a tad, because those tires, it's not a lot of laps, but you'd be surprised. Not a lot of laps is it's a big difference, very, very big difference. So it'll show here as they go on in the run. So yeah, Whirl has, actually he's only got 1 lap older tires than Kohler here. And he was a second and a half behind him too. So he didn't really short pit him. I do want to see, what were their times down pit road though, fully. Pit road times fully. Whirl was down actually longer than Kohler. He just got out there and he probably ran a fast lap to get a little bit ahead of him. Now that these guys have gone through their pit stops here, we're going to go to a side-by-side ad break.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
As we're back here, 93 laps of 150 done. We have seen Whirls kind of hold off Kohler. Kohler is not leaving him alone. He's going to make him work for it. I think that he should be fine to the end. I do know one that is hoping to be fine to the end is Shothouse. He's hoping these guys run out and have to pit or possibly start clutching in. But he's got to be mad. It's just pitting. It's always difficult. Sometimes. What really gets him is just coming off the surface, and I've done it multiple times before, so this is not a knock on him at all. It's just that elevation change. It's that last second when those rear tires come off of that hill, or kind of that slope. It upsets the car so much. And one thing, too, when you're on old tires, stopping is incredibly difficult. I mean, it is really, really hard to do. You touch the brake and the car just shoots sideways. It's like, nope, I'm done. And next thing you know is your car is just gone. Literally just gone. Done that before. Not too fun. A link here very quickly. There we go. But Worlds, he's holding him off surprisingly good. One thing too, let's see where's Shildhouse at. Shildhouse, he's not really moved up at all. He's kind of honestly stayed where he started. He's not stayed where he started. He stayed where he came out when he pitted pretty much. He doesn't have fresher tires than the guys in front of him. That is incorrect. He did not pit on lap 71. He actually does have fresher tires, because I know he came down lap 77, but it's showing 71. It might have been where he spun and it messed up the timing, but I do know he actually does now that I think about it. Got fresher tires in them. But he's got to hope that he can capitalize on him. I don't know if Whirl and Kohler have fuel to the end, because, like somebody said in the chats, he was clutching in the corner. Let's see if he's still doing that right now. He may be. Don't see it. I don't think he's doing it now. He's probably realized that I can kind of throw that fuel saving out the window and just go. Just get up and go. See what World's bumper sees right here. He gets a face full of Kohler. Hey, he does not want to see that either. I can guarantee you that he does not want to be seeing that at all. What he has to deal with right now, though. Probably hold him off pretty well, too. Lap time wise, they're running some of the faster laps, so they're not doing horrible at all. Roberto is off track. Where is he at on the timing? I think he... Oh, this might bring out a caution here, though. This... Nope, he toes immediately. Yeah, he toes it immediately. So what happened to him? As he's just trying to chase it. Goes to the infield. He's fine right here. When he comes back up on the track, he's going to get a lot of grip and probably mess him up. And he probably can't slow down. I think he's already on the brakes. No, he's playing with the throttle and trying to get back on track as fast as possible. And he slides up and he realizes I'm just going to Alt F4 and get out there immediately. He's had a rough race anyway. Now we got these two side by side up front. Kohler and Worrell going at it. Worrell tried to hold off Kohler for a little bit. He was actually doing very, very well. That's the replay, though, as we need to go live, as Kohler actually has gotten by him. The Worrell put up a good fight. You see Weaver's hounding Smalley for 3rd position. I'm not going to let him have a fun time on a run away with. He's going to keep up on him. Everyone else, though, is not... They're just not on top of each other. That's so weird. They're just really not stacked up on top of each other at all. They're kind of just here. You know what I mean? Not doing bad. I mean, they're just so separated. I want to see how hard was Kohler trying to get around Worrell. I don't think he was trying, to be honest with you. I think he realized that he's like, you know, I can just ride really slowly around. I have better tires. I have a faster car than him. So I think he was possibly doing that. Side note, what is it with everybody? My generation apparently loves to get married out of high school or have kids out of high school. I don't know what that is. In that ad break, I was looking at somebody who had just gotten married. I really don't know him, but went to a school around me. Grade below me, too. I'm 20, so they're 19. They got married. Don't understand why, but Weaver has gotten by Smalley. These two can marry each other. We got so much of it happening right now. But Worrell's not really falling back from Kohler at all. Now, if you're still in here, Alex Snyder, is he still trying to make it to the end here? What's their fuel looking like? Ramirez has jumped to the pits now? That is odd. So I think he might have hit escape fast enough to where it took him off the track, and then he just took, yeah, he took the tow. That's what he did. He took the tow down to pit road. If you do that fast enough, I believe they also have manual cautions here too. So it's not going to be, you know, thrown because somebody touched the wall, as I know some places it would. Yeah, I'm interested in Worrell here because he stayed right there with him. Weaver's on pressure tires on both of them, but he's also 5 seconds behind him. So, see Ramirez, he's came back out on the track, so he's not really a... Well, he could play a factor here if he messes with Kohler. He could mess with him a lot. I'm going to let the camera decide where to go because there's not really been too much action on the track, to be honest with you. It's just been kind of here. I don't know what that was, but okay. Lindgren's down 2, so, and he put on lap 75. He put it in the 70s, so this may be. This could very well be what I think it is now. They're gonna have to two-stop it maybe. They may have been stretching it. I mean, literally to the very end of the run that they had. The only thing I can think of that they were doing. Charlie House, he's not downshifting still. He's rode in 5th the whole time. Kohler's saving right there. See if he does it again. That might have been a misshift. I think he's saving. Nope, he's saving fuel too. He's saving fuel just a little bit, not a lot. So he might not be able to make it to the end. So Shothouse may have a chance here still. As yes, he pitted on lap 76. It corrected itself, so I knew he pitted around that time. And one thing Kohler's doing that's also hurting him though is he's going down to 4th. He's getting a better run off the corner, but he's also burning more fuel because the RPM range is higher overall for him. It's kind of a how much do you want to be hurt thing. Somebody else. Lindgren just ran a fast lap too. He just went out there and ran a 29.85. That is 400s faster than the next fastest time that was set by. Actually, nope, that is only 300s faster. Okay, they're not going to be able to make it on one stop. Orl's coming in hot, my man. He got slowed down in time, but that's like me on going down pit road. I get all I can. Literally all I can. Sometimes I get a little bit too much. I don't think I've been caught for speeding on entry in a while, however. Because I get it. I'm somebody, if I can get on pit road, I'm going to get all I can. I'm very aggressive down there. Okay, so can Cole... I don't know. 75... I mean, he did go a little bit past... halfway. I don't know. I really don't know. Casey, oh my gosh. Casey just went out there and ran an actual fast lap though, 29.76. That is moving, my man. He is, I think, 2 laps down though, isn't he? Yeah, he's 2 laps down. So Kohler, I think he's still downshifting again. He might be clutching in harder, though. Yeah, he's definitely saving. He's saving. He's lifting a lot earlier, too. House is probably just running all out. He's running all out still. Weaver's not really caught anybody. He's kind of just stayed here, pretty much in that below 5-second gap, and just literally just right below it too. He's not moved up or down at all. Not a bad thing. I mean, it means he's running very consistent, but Kohler's also running consistent too, so it's not really helping him too much at the same time. However, let's just do a lap on board with the top 5 here, because you'll see how we'll start seeing who's going to be shifting and who's not shifting. We'll do it next lap by who's clutching, who's saving fuel, who's downshifting, who's not shifting down. It's going to be different for every single person. Not everybody's going to be the exact same at all. We'll do it. Start it right now here for y'all. We will be able to see the drivers though. Yeah, I do want to point out though, as we kind of looked at the gap. Gap's gotten a little bit smaller. We did see Weaver hit the wall, but it was around 5 seconds. Now it's down to 4 seconds. I think Kohler's realizing that he has to save more. He can't make it. He's having to do it really aggressively now. If he is, actually. Oh, yeah, he is. Oh, yeah, he is saving hard. But you just see how early he lifts getting into these corners now. We'll hear it really coming down, or going into 3 and 4 here. Watch where he lifts. He is cutting that car off. He's clutching in extremely early. I mean, extremely early. And Kyle's a little bit better off on fuel than Kohler, too. And you can see how it's hurting Kohler's time also. Now he's got Weaver behind him. Weaver and Smalley may realize, you know what? We're not going to catch him if we get side by side. But if we actually play nice with each other, and we just race clean, side by side, we'll catch him. Because if you get side by, or not side by side, if you race side by side, you'll slow each other down. If you, however, line up and shove each other, you'll catch him a little bit faster. Any arrow that can be cut can help. Any arrow that can be cut can help. I do feel really bad for Shildhouse though. I mean, he was doing so good early on, and then he had that one mistake. I mean, it was just one mistake. Well, actually, really two. He spun getting on pit road, then he ran out of fuel. So he's got Whirl that's going to pass him also. Whirl's on really, really fresh tires. He's lap 119. That's the freshest that's on the track right now. Whirl will probably get up to about 7th. He may be able to get 6th, but that's also 6 seconds ahead. So that'll be close. Yeah, that'll be very, very close if he gets there. Times now. Oh, he's got to be saving more. He has to be saving more. Now, if he's in his window, he's not going to be saving. Yep, I think he's saved enough now because he's not doing that clutch in anymore. He kind of threw out the window. He's like, you know what? I don't need to clutch in like I was before. I can just go pull on out. Yeah, Whirl's. He caught these guys really quickly though. Very, very quickly. That was, what, 3 laps? Took him to shave down 2 seconds. He's going to be even shaving down a little bit more if he's... As if he doesn't burn off his tires. He doesn't need to go out there and absolutely just cook them. To do that, bad idea. No bueno. Bad idea. Those guys quickly. I might have to take back my word. He might get to 5th now. He's gonna catch 6th here because he has 10 laps left. He's 3.5 seconds behind, but again, fresh tires. He's running 0.6 faster than them, so he's a lot faster than these guys are. I'm really more interested to see where Whirl's going to get. This is really the only battle that we have. Is not really battle, but fast car that we have up here on tires. He's going to catch him here. He's going to get up to maybe 5th. I think 5th will be a little bit of a reach. And I mean just a little bit of a reach, not a lot. He's not running much slower, really. He's running faster than everybody, evidently. I don't know. He's going to get by JR easily. No doubt about that. JR is probably not going to really fight him too hard. I mean, that gap's a little bit smaller now. It's below 3.5 seconds, but I mean, 6 laps. If he's clutching in, then he's close, but I don't think he is anymore. Oh, okay, I might need to take that back. He's still trying to mess with his fuel. He's still trying to get to the end, and I think he's going to make it, I think. But I really don't know completely if he can. That's kind of up in the air now for me. Now, he's got a 3-second gap. He does have to keep that in mind. I don't have to run full throttle. I can maybe run a little bit above 3/4 down the front stretch and back stretch and still be fine on it. It's not going to get him a lot of fuel, though. He's going to have to, if he can really find a car and tuck in behind him, that'll be the better option for him, because you can save a lot more with somebody in front of you. I mean, a lot more with somebody in front of you. I think he's going to be fine, though. Yeah, with 3 laps left, he's definitely making it now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts unless he sputters the whole last lap. Luckily, these cars don't shut off completely when you're out of fuel. It'll start running out, though, and it will be pretty evident. And they'll try to pick up any fuel you can get. Down to 3 seconds, though. World's maybe going to get Walker here. He's going to be close. But white flag is in the air. Brendan Kohler, he only has one more time around. See, he's got Weaver all the way back there. Kind of dominated the whole entire race. It was going to be him and Shildhouse maybe, and then Shildhouse made that one crucial mistake. Messed up getting on pit road. He also ran out of fuel, so when he did get fired back, he had to roll down pretty much the whole entire pit lane. Out of 3 and 4 here, Brendan Kohler, he will win here at Nashville Superspeedway. Weaver second, Walker third. World will come home fourth, right behind Walker, who comes home third, and Calvin Allison will come home 5th. That was a dominating win by Brendan Kohler, though. He just pretty much just destroyed the whole entire field, the whole entire race. That was interesting. Watch him burn it down. T gets done with his burnout there. We'll pull up the finishing order here now. Got a blunt view for you all. Also bring in the top 3 drivers. I need to make sure to unmute my Discord. I've made that mistake multiple times. I'm not doing that. So we'll bring in David Schild. Ooh, that's qualifying. Wrong one. I do that all the time now. This will now be the race results. We'll bring in Walker Thomas here, the 3rd place driver. Hey, Walker, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
I gotcha.
Man, so you come home 3rd. And how did the race go for you overall, though, man? Because it seems like you were barely holding off World there at the end because he was coming on those fresh tires.
Yeah, so starting in the back and having no caution kind of made it tough. Chris had to pit. He wasn't going to be able to make it on fuel off of one stop, so he had to pit and get tires. And I saw him coming, and I just finally kind of put it in gear and just pushed a little bit harder to hold him off.
Yeah, you know, so do you think if a caution were to fly that this race would have gone completely different for you?
It would have been different for everybody. I mean, there was every kind of strategy going on. People that were going as long as they could, people that were trying to get right on the money. I have no clue how Brendan made it 78 laps without pitting. That's just incredible. So props to him. But yeah, I don't know. It would have been interesting, but I don't think anybody's going to complain about having a caution-free race. This league shows up every week and puts on a good show.
Yeah, so that's really no other question to ask, you know, but one question I do have is, was 3 and 4 hard to get around? Because it seems like you guys were taking it pretty well, but you know, from my experience at Nashville, there's that bump in the middle of 3 and 4. So was this track really hard for anybody here? Or was it pretty smooth the whole way around?
The setup was pretty tight. So with it being tight, all you had to do is make sure on the first few laps of the run when the tires were a little cold to not have a little bit too much gas when going over that bump. But once you got a couple laps on the tires and they got warmed up, it really wasn't much of an issue. It was just a matter of saving the right front most of the race. And, you know, 3 and 4 is a little bit more difficult with that bump, but overall the setup was pretty stable overall.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Under Pressure again for putting on the broadcast for the year. Them hopping on board has been really cool. I've luckily got to talk to you a couple of times now lately, so that's cool. Shout out to my teammate Jordan bringing it home P2. He's had a ton of bad luck this year, so good to see him finally just have a stressful race, or a stress-free race, I should say. Bring home a good finish, and shout out to all my Balls Out Racing teammates as well. We all pretty much had good runs tonight.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. A good 3rd place finish tonight, though, man.
Thanks, Bryce.
That was Walker Thomas, the 3rd place driver. We will bring in the 2nd place driver in Jordan Weaver. Hey, Jordan, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir, I do.
And so you come home 2nd after you smacked the wall. Kyle got by you, and then you got by him again. But, you know, how did the race go for you overall, though, man? Because it seemed like this race was pretty much just green flag the whole entire way. So it was pretty much who could save their tires the best.
Yeah, absolutely. It was tires and fuel the whole way. We knew going into the race, if it went green, you were going to have to manage fuel between both runs just to be able to make it, because it seemed like if you did it right, you could go exactly the halfway point to pit and grab fuel and then get the second half. So that was kind of the main concern. And I was shifting the whole race, and you know, my teammate Kyle was telling me you probably shouldn't be doing that because you're going to burn a little bit more fuel doing that. But my fuel number was good the whole way, so I stayed true to that strategy. I knew I was faster with shifting. Anytime I tried not shifting, I'd lose a couple tenths every lap. So I just stayed true to that strategy and ended up working out. I was out of fuel at the line, so I was right on the number.
I was going to say, because I know Shothouse actually, he spun getting on pit road and then ran out of fuel after he got the car refired and had to coast down a whole entire pit lane. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, fuel was absolutely a major issue. I know Kyle ran out coming to the white, he said. So just happy to be able to manage the fuel correctly, get the whole race in green, stress-free race. I haven't had a whole lot of stress-free races in the league this year, so it just feels good to bring one around and get a top 3 finish.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, just thank you to Balls Out Racing and all my teammates. They're the best. We got the best team out here. And then thank you to my girlfriend too.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good second place finish tonight, though, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, Bryce.
That was Jordan Weaver, the race winner. We'll bring in the second place driver, not race winner. Jordan Weaver was second place. We will now bring in the race winner and Brendan Kohler.
A lot of fun.
Hey, Brendan, this is Bryson's booth. Got a copy, man?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, so you come home with the win here, pretty much just dominate the whole entire race. But how did it go for you overall, though? Because it seemed like early on you had a little bit of a challenge there in Child House until he messed his race up.
Yeah, I think we were pretty even. It just we would trade lap times almost every lap, and then with I think it was around lap 45, 50-ish, I saw him start saving fuel. I was like, oh, I should probably try and save, because I knew the fall off wasn't enough to make a 2-stop work. And so I started saving, and then as soon as I did that, my data told me that I could make it. So I was just trying to save from there on out, and then it helped a little bit that Shieldhouse ran out of fuel, because I think he would have won if he wouldn't have run himself out of fuel. But I don't know. That was a blast. I've never been good at fuel mileage races, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I saw you. I was looking in your in car. You started clutching, and then you went back to kind of driving normal. Then you went back to clutching and backing it way up. And I was like, he is going to be close on fuel. But luckily, you were able to stretch it towards the end. But do you feel like there was anything hard about this track here? Or was it pretty much just kind of just ride it around here? Because my experience at Nashville, probably just where it's the setups that I run, in 3 and 4, there's a bump there on that bottom lane. Did that mess with you at all, or really mess with anyone here the whole entire night, or was it pretty much stable?
It was the first 5 laps on tires. If you were off the bottom and you got in the throttle too hard, it would step out on you. But I mean, this track is very, very hard because it's so line sensitive. If you're not around the bottom, you're running your tires off. But that's what kind of makes it fun, is you just have to hit your marks. It's really hard to pass. So I'm glad I pulled a lap to put it on pole, but I can't believe a lot of fun. I don't think I've had that much fun in a fuel mileage race, because I'm usually not very good at them. So to come out with a win was pretty awesome.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
I just gotta thank Elliott Souther Esports and everybody here at FCRL for putting it on, and you for broadcasting.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good win here tonight, though, man.
Thank you.
That was Brendan Kohler, the race winner. I will say the finishing order here. Then Brendan Kohler wins the race here. Jordan Weaver second, Walker Thomas third, Chris Worrell fourth, Calvin Allison fifth, J.R. Houston sixth, seventh, Brian Jones, eighth, Marcus Adams, ninth, David Shildhouse, 10th, Kyle Smalley, 11th, Zach Lindgren, 12th, Jeremy Brown, 13th, Nathan Yarnell, 14th, John Creighton, 15th, Alexander Kronicki, 16th, Caden Henry Oaks, 17th, Jared Wishon, 18th, James McKee, 19th is Keith Smalley, 20th, Michael Anthony, 21st, Casey Heschel, 22nd, Roberto Ramirez, and 23rd was Brad Peters. Kind of a not interesting race, but towards the end, it was definitely fuel mileage, so you kind of had to see how some guys were saving fuel. Some guys actually ran out. They tried to two-stop it. Some made it, some didn't. We saw one guy run out on pit road after he spun his car and they got it refired. He had to coast down pretty much the whole entire pit road because he literally had no fuel left in it. But I'm not going to keep y'all here any longer. I believe I will be streaming tomorrow the Ghost Cup series. But I will roll this animation, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow.